Hey, buddy. What you doing? What you doing, buddy? I can see you. You know, the first time my wife saw an alligator tail sticking out of the water, she wouldn't believe it was an alligator. She thought it was an old tire. And, you know, they kind of do look like an old tire. Well, Merry Christmas. It is December the 25th, 2025. And I am saying hello from Lake Toho. Right behind me, I'm on the shore of Lake Toho. As much of a shore as it has, more of a mud flat. But here I am. This Christmas, not the happiest Christmas in modern remembrance. This has been a tough year, a year full of a lot of loss. Loss of friends, loss of family. I just saw a hawk snatch a snake out of the grass about 10 feet that way. He just went whoop, and there he went with the snake. Well, okay. Too bad I couldn't show that on video, but it happened so fast that it's not something you normally you're prepared for. But now I know that I definitely shouldn't walk through this thick grass because there's definitely some snakes in there. Let's see. It's too bad I can't flip this around mid recording. But there it is. There's Lake Toho, Kissimmee, Florida. Let's get a little bit closer of a look at the lake. We have a nice little pier. It was built by this community. Nobody actually wanted them to build it. It was built way over budget and not very well. But while it still remains standing, I figure we should use it since the citizens did pay for this. Look at the size of that grass. That is some tall grass. I would mow it myself, but yeah, I think it would kill my mower. All right, let's take a trip down the pier, the questionable pier. Now, before we had this pier, you could stand over on the bank and look out at the water, and you know, it didn't look that special, didn't look that expansive. But after they built it out and you walk out all the way down here, it is quite something. It is, it's pretty impressive. And there's wildlife and animals that stay a little bit farther out in the water. Alligators. Oh, a fish. I don't know what kind of fish that is, but I just saw a fish just swim away through there. But yeah, out in the deeper water, there's some fish and different marsh birds, turtles, alligators, I think I already said. No crocodiles. We're a little bit too far north for the crocs to come out here. A lot of the time they'll come out with an aquatic bulldozer and clear out all the vegetation. I actually think it looks quite nice with all these lily pads and bunches of reeds and things. Provides places for the birds and fish and everybody to have a little bit of a habitat. I can hear some birds now. Can't see which one's making the noise, but oh, no, they're out there. What will we do when we get all the way to the end? Well, probably check out how everybody's kids have damaged the safety wiring on the end of it. If you ever see wires strung up like, oh my goodness. Also, this board, that's well done, guys. Well done. It's actually, it's split. Wow. It's split. And then this is from kids climbing up on that, which you can't blame them. Looks fun. But parents, you're damaging a bridge. And I don't think there's any budget left to fix it. Well, here it is, a quiet, bright, sunny Christmas on the lake. Wow. It really is pretty. So I'm just recording my thoughts. I'm doing a talk and walk video. I've been on YouTube for over a decade. Made my first videos. Most of my videos were all music related. Guitar, singing, playing shows. I tried some sketch comedy and stuff, but never really took off. A lot of the projects I wanted to do, I put off because I didn't have a good enough camera, or just wasn't feeling it, or there was always some excuse for why I didn't want to make it. And I don't know that I really cared about success, but being a small channel that doesn't really get views, it gets a little discouraging. So you find reasons not to make videos. And eventually you just stop posting entirely. But this week, just a few days ago, the world lost a man, YouTube lost a man, Florida lost a man, who, all he did was this. He turned on his phone, and he brought you along on rather mundane adventures, but they were still adventures. He took you around, sometimes doing absolutely nothing. Sometimes there was a lot of talking. Sometimes he pointed a camera for no apparent reason at something that wasn't that interesting, but that was life. That was the adventure he was on, and he took his camera out and he took him along. I watched Justin Scard in his tribute video talk about, as he talked and walked around a beloved place for myself. My wife and I met for the first time at the Puente Hills Mall, or the Twin Pines Mall, California. I watched Justin walk around that same parking lot that I knew well and he knew well, Adam knew well, and remind everybody that Adam was the kind of guy who encouraged you to just get up and go. Just get up, just do it. And I'm not going to say it sparked anything. I'm not going to say it lit a fire in me, but it definitely made me want to pull out a camera and start talking. Last few years, been a lot of things that have made me feel out of place, lonely, a little bit. Not that I'm completely alone, I'm not. But, you know, there's some things that make you feel certain things. And I think for those of us who might have lost touch with some of the things that made us happy, maybe it's time for us to pick up a phone. Take whoever wants to come along on a rather mundane adventure. Show each other our little slice of life, our little corner of the world. So maybe I'll start that today and continue it through the next year. Maybe it'll be every day, maybe it won't, probably won't be every day. But I think we should try. I think we should all make a concerted effort to get back out there. Start sharing life with each other. When you lose an encourager, you lose someone generous, it falls to you to carry on what you can of that. Now, when I got up this morning and walked outside, one of the things that I realized was just how quiet it was out. It's something I'm not used to. This is a very busy stretch, so I was curious. I know nothing out here is open, but I was curious what the roads would be like, and I'm actually surprised. There are a lot of people out today. The city bus. There's a Lynx bus going by. Now, normally I wouldn't be surprised for this road to be busy. It's usually jam-packed morning, noon, and night. If you're unlucky enough to have to commute through this area, you're gonna be home late, maybe get to work late. But there are quite a few people out. Maybe there's people going to grandma's house for Christmas and going back and forth. That is something to consider, but there's a lot of people out. I see a lot of cars behind me, and surprising. It surprises me because there is nothing to do. Nothing is open. I've looked to see if there was anything open. I mean, maybe a theater, but as far as shopping or any place that you might go to do anything, there's really no reason to be on the road. Unless most of these people, like me, were just curious to see what it would be like if they did go out. If that's the case, there are a lot more like-minded people in the world than I thought. But yep, nothing in this area that I could find online was open for any kind of last-minute shopping or supply runs or anything. Just a very busy holiday up to now. Now there's a lot of cars in that parking lot. There's a Unidos supermarket. Some small local markets I did read would be open. And that parking lot was packed, so there must have been a lot of people who could not get everything on their list for Christmas dinner before right now. When there's not much traffic, this is actually a fairly pleasant kind of winding road through the country. But when it's jam-packed and there's a lot of traffic everywhere, you don't want to be there. Well, my suspicions were confirmed, and the world is a ghost town today. All of these stores I frequent, shops that I haunt, all of them are empty. So that's exactly what I would expect on Christmas Day, you know. But there's a lot of people out. Now, where are all these people congregating? You may ask yourself. And I have found there's a Starbucks on the other side of the parking lot, absolutely packed. Only thing that's open Christmas Day, Starbucks, which, think about it, it's a little bit criminal that you're making these people work on Christmas. So if you agree with me, don't go to Starbucks today. Don't do it. Oh, too late. You already did it. Okay, well, you are part of the problem. I don't think anybody should have to work on Christmas Day. There are, of course, a lot of industries where you need to be able to call someone in case of an emergency, or you just really want coffee. And those are necessary jobs. So if there's anybody who watches this that has ever had to work on a Christmas Day doing one of those jobs, thank you very much for being there. appears I've scared off the people who were using the tables outside of this market. They heard me talking and they decided they needed to skedaddle. Well, anyway, so that's Christmas for you. Some people working, some people not. A lot of people driving around. I hope they're all going somewhere. I hope none of them are going nowhere. But yeah, empty parking lots. It's quite surreal after a really, really busy time. It's like Thanos snapped his fingers and everybody vanished, turned to dust almost. That's kind of what it's like being out here. And tomorrow, they'll all be back. The grind will return. Stores will be open. Hustle and bustle will commence. People getting ready for New Year's. And it'll all start over again. So I'm going to try to take the rest of this 25th of December, 2025, as our year draws ever closer to a close, to try to revel in the peace of the day. Think forward to the good things that are going to happen next year. Cherish the good things that I still have in my life. Reach out to family. Go home. Cook Christmas lunch and dinner. Spend the afternoon with my wife. And for all of you, anyone who watches this, I hope you are having or had a very Merry Christmas. God bless you, everyone.